Hi guys, welcome to Mental Health Talk with 211 Big Bend. We have a very special guest with us today, but first I'm Stacy and this is
Paulina.
And we're with 211 Big Bend. If you don't know who we are your go-to regions crisis hotline. And with us today is Miss Kelly Mercer from Capital Regional Medical Center. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thanks for joining us. There is a really awesome event coming up at the end of the month, and Kelly is going to share all the details with you. And if you're listening and you have any questions while we're discussing this, please pop them on there. We want to know what you guys are wanting to know. So the Jason Foundation, it is a suicide prevention event. Why don't you just tell us a little bit of Jason's background with the foundation?
Absolutely. So the Jason Foundation was started by a gentleman named Clark Flatt. Clark lost his son Jason to suicide at the age of 16. And so Jason was actually Clark's son. Clark will tell you that Jason was a very normal teenager, was active in his school, participated in sports, that type of thing. And so, it was a bit of a shock to him, obviously, when he lost a son. And so he always shares with us that he was offered lots of training as a parent on, drugs and college and bullying, all of these things. And as a parent, he went to those trainings so he could be a good parent, as we all want to do, and help our children.
Yeah, sure.
And so he said, I was never offered anything on youth suicide prevention. And so had I been offered that training, I may have been able to save my son. And so 3 months after Jason died, he started the foundation.
Oh my gosh, and do you know how long they've been around for?
Yeah, so Jason died in 97.
Okay,
wow.
so a couple,
yeah,
97,
long
let's do
time.
quick math real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Approaching 20 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
19 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we want to give a big shout out to everybody over at the Jason Foundation for bringing this event to Tallahassee. Yes. It is a huge deal. As Kelly just mentioned, a lot of it is preventable, and we do have some numbers on that. But really quick, this event, anybody that's interested, what can they expect from this?
Absolutely. So Clark is actually coming to Tallahassee.
Okay.
At Capital Regional, we're actually an HCA hospital, and HCA is a big sponsor and supporter of the Jason Foundation. And so we, along with our community partners, are bringing Clark to Tallahassee. So you'll actually get to hear Clark speak. He's a phenomenal speaker.
Sure.
I cannot say enough about him. I mean, he is truly amazing. It's very captivating.
Yeah.
And so very passionate, obviously, about what he does. And so he'll share Jason's story, and then he will also give some information on the statistics associated with youth suicide for their target age range, which is 10 to 24. And so he'll share some information. He will talk about the warning signs and the risk factors associated with youth suicide, how to identify those young folks and get them some help, hopefully, before they think that taking their life is their only option. And so so he's going to speak again. He's amazing. And we'll also have several community vendors available, so folks can also, while they learn this information, well, now what do I do? So they can learn what resources are out here in our community, such as 211 and Capital Regional, and all those other wonderful community programs that are out there to help get their loved ones some help.
Oh, I'm excited for him to come. That is so good. And then if you're listening, you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to sign up for this right now. Please tell me where to go. Where do they go?
Absolutely. So you can go to capitalregionalmedicalcenter.com to our calendar, so you can register online. The event is completely free. I'm not sure we mentioned that. It's a free event. Everyone is welcome, professionals and parents and families and churches, anyone can come. So you can register on our website, but you can also give us a call at 325-3627. And register. Last year we had estimated a little over 400 folks came out for the event, so it was super crowded, and we're hoping to top that number this year. So please come on out and hear Clark speak, and go to the website, capitalregionalmedicalcenter.com. It's January the 31st, starts at 6:30 p.m., doors open at 5:30 p.m. And so, where's it being held? Oh, at the Florida A&M Grand Ballroom.
That'll be nice.
Yes, and
Ladies,
so
there's a question coming in.
yes.
Oh, we have a question.
Do you have to register in advance, or can you just show up the night of?
We would love for you to register in advance. We are not going to turn anyone away ultimately, but if you register in advance, it lets us know how many chairs to have out and refreshments, things like that. So again, refreshments, yes.
Okay.
Basic refreshments. Yeah, basic refreshments. But ultimately, no, we're not going to turn anyone away, but we would love for you to register ahead of time if possible.
Love it. So we will pop the phone number. We will pop the address to go to register. It is free. It is Thursday, January 31st at Florida A&M Ballroom. Make sure you try to attend or get somebody to go that you might know. Yes. While we're talking about this, here at 211, we do answer a good amount of these calls are the types of calls that we bring in. You had mentioned partners. Can we give a shout out to some of the partners?
Absolutely. We are excited to be working again this year with NAMI Tallahassee and Lost Team of the Big Bend. And they were big supporters of us last year. Of course, we couldn't do this at all without Florida A&M University. Love the Rattlers and all of the support that they've been giving us. And our new partners this year, of course, 211 Big Bend. We're excited to have you with us. And of course, Disc Village is going to be helping us out this year. Also an amazing organization, so we're excited to have all of our folks on board.
And how about some of those vendors?
We've got a bunch of them. Of course, all the hospitals will be there, Disc Village will be there, all of the providers supporting the event will be there. We've got some counseling centers, we've got I'm trying to think who else. We've got law enforcement coming, LCSO and TPD will be there. Of course, FEMU will have some of their providers there. And so we've got, I think, Refuge House coming and some of those organizations. And so just hopefully now to give you a good wraparound idea of what might be out there to help your family members should they be experiencing some trouble.
So what I'm hearing is like you have to go to this event.
You need
This is a must attend.
It absolutely was. It was definitely, and I'm quoting someone else here, the mental health event of the year last year. So
mental health.
Yeah, in fact, people were literally asking me about it. I mean, 2 or 3 months down the road, like, are you doing that event again this next year? Because man, I missed it, and I hate I missed it, and I really want to go next year. I mean, people talked about it for months.
Well, and I can see why. Before we went over some of the facts and stats, do you want to share some of those? Because they're staggering. And these are lives we're talking about. We don't want to get like extremely dark on here, but I just really want you to capture the essence of these are youth. They are in parents and adults' hands, ours, everybody listening. So this is really important.
Absolutely. So suicide is the second leading cause of death in ages 10 to 24. So if you think about that, that counts your middle school through your high school and all up through college, really. So 10 to 24, second leading cause of death. And I don't know if we're able to do it, but through our laugh, can anyone guess the number one leading cause of death in that age range?
Anybody listening? The question one more time was?
Yes. So suicide is the second leading cause of death in ages 10 to 24. Is there a guess on what might be the number one leading cause of death in that age range?
Somebody mentioned accident.
Accidents, absolutely. Usually I get about like 3 or 4 other guesses. Similar to that, but yes, accidental death. So unintentional accidents is the number one cause of death in ages 10 to 24. So that lumps in accidental gunshots, accidental overdose, accidental drowning, car accidents, all of those things into one category, which makes it the number one cause of death in that age range. So again, if we were to break those into individual categories, then suicide would be the number one cause of death in that age range. Here in the state of Florida, suicide is the third leading cause of death in that age range, with unintentional accidents still being number one. Any guesses on what might be number 2?
Are we allowed to guess?
Yeah, you can take a guess. Yeah. Do you have a guess?
Can I guess homicide?
Absolutely, it's homicide in the state of Florida. And so again, suicide is still, I mean, it's slightly better than the national, but still not amazing, obviously.
Right.
And so it's definitely a scary statistic. We actually lose about 100 youth a week nationally in that age range.
100 youth a week?
Approximately. So think about that. At the Jason Foundation, they often refer to youth suicide as a silent epidemic. So imagine, because no one talks about it, right? So imagine if every Friday someone came on the news and said, we lost 99 people to virus A, we lost 98 people to virus B, or virus A, we lost 107 people to virus A. What would we all be saying?
We need a vaccine.
We need a vaccine, we need a cure, right?
Wow.
But no one talks about it. You know, no one talks about it. Most people aren't aware that it happens. Most people don't feel comfortable talking about it. And ultimately it comes down to is that generally speaking, it's preventable. 4 out of 5 youth that complete suicide actually gave warning signs ahead of time. So in 80% of those cases, those young people hopefully could have gotten some help before.
And Paulina, can you share some of those warning signs?
Definitely. And these are just a few, but a lot of youth will usually withdraw from their friends, from their family. A really common one is just losing interest in things that they were normally interested in. So they used to be interested in art and suddenly they're not drawing anymore, they're not painting anymore. They used to be interested in a certain band and they don't listen to them anymore. They completely stop listening to music. So really big changes in their personality and things that they like to do and activities are normal, really common signs of suicide risk, and not just suicide risk, but depression, other things that might lead to suicide at some point down the road.
That's very important. And just having eyes and ears and being in tune and connected can help a lot. That's important stuff. My goodness. Was there any lasting things you wanted to add? Oh, they have a hashtag. So
yes.
if you're listening, please share the video because we want to get the word out so much.
Absolutely.
Use this hashtag.
Yes, so we have the Jace Foundation has a campaign called hashtag I Won't Be Silent or hashtag We Won't Be Silent. So they encourage folks to take a photo of you holding a sign with hashtag I Won't Be Silent or hashtag We Won't Be Silent, or put it on your social media post, or put it anytime you post on Facebook or Instagram, things like that, to add the hashtag I Won't Be Silent or hashtag We Won't Be Silent. Just to help get the word out. The more people talk about it, the more people become aware it's an issue and aware that how that they may be able to help a young person who, again, is contemplating taking their life. And so definitely check that out. They also have a free app you can download. It's called A Friend Asks. Okay. It's free. It's got warning signs, risk factors, what to do. It's got a link right to the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, of course. And so it's a phenomenal app. I keep it on my phone. I tell everyone I know to keep it on your phone. You never know when you might need it. And so definitely check out their app as well.
Perfect. And we'll put that in the comments below as well. Which, all right, so last, again, tell them where, when, and how to sign up.
So January the 31st, 6:30 p.m. Doors open at 5:30. I highly encourage you to get there early for parking. And again, last year it was packed. So please get there early if you can. So January 31st, 6:30 p.m., Florida A&M University Grand Ballroom. Free event. Register ahead of time online, or again, call that 325-3627 phone number and let us know that you're coming. We'd love to hear from you. I will mention that we are offering a free nursing CEU and 2 free CEUs for folks who report to NASW for their therapy license. So if you have, if you're watching and you're a licensed mental health counselor or a licensed marriage and family therapist or an LCSW, or you're an RN in the state of Florida and you would like to get a CEU, that's another incentive for you to come and check it out. So, and it's free. We're gonna have some refreshments. Again, come out and meet these wonderful community partners and vendors.
Great connections
and see it. So great connections, good networking, and again, get there early so you can get a seat. We'd love to have you come out. We're super excited to bring Clark back to Tallahassee.
Yay! Awesome. So nurses and therapists, please bring them out.
Another tip that I'll mention, Abby Walton from WCTV is our MC for the night. I think I forgot to mention that. She's so awesome, and we're super excited to have her too. So.
Yay!
Yeah.
Very cool.
She's awesome.
I love it. And this kind of segues us into some of our volunteer efforts and recruitment information that we have coming up. We do, as I mentioned earlier, answer some of these calls. They have increased a little bit with the youth suicide, which Paulina can touch on. She is our outreach and education coordinator here at 211. Let's tell them what do we have going on coming up this month.
Definitely. So like Stacy just mentioned, we here at 211 Big Bend, we answer the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline as one of our hotlines that we answer. So we have counselors that we train to answer those calls. And we are looking for new counselors coming in, and we're starting our recruitment sessions next Tuesday and Thursday, the 15th and the 17th. The one on the 15th is going to be at the Collins Main Library at 6:30, and then the one on the 17th is going to be at the B.L. Perry Library at 6 o'clock. The week after that, on the 22nd and 24th, we're going to be over at FSU in the Psych building. There'll be signs all over the place. You can't miss it. And those are both at 7 p.m. And all of those sessions are open to the public. I really, really encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, or after you go to the Jason Foundation event, you're like, I do want to do something, I want to help out. Please come and reach out to us about how you can volunteer with us, get your foot in the door, and start helping these callers, because we are really experiencing a good bit of increase in youth suicide calls.
And I love that you mentioned that. If you have a tug on your heart where this is just a passion of yours, or maybe you have experienced this with a friend or a family member, we do have a lot of volunteers that this is their way to give back. And it's super powerful because they have that experience when they're answering the calls, and it's beautiful.
Absolutely. A lot of our volunteers either have a lot of experience with suicide, either personal experience with suicide, so in the past they've had suicidal thoughts and now they want to help others, or they've had another person in their life, family, friend, who've either died by suicide or have attempted.
But you certainly
do
don't have to
something.
have any experience with it to be a volunteer, because we have a really awesome training program.
Yes, we will teach you everything you need to know. It's a really extensive program, and once you get out of training, you are ready to rock and roll.
And volunteers at 211 kind of run this place. I mean, how many do we have a year or so? Did the numbers?
A year?
Is
it's
it
probably over. It's at least
over 100. Easily. When you
close to
factor in
200.
everything with like events and stuff, you're up to 200 easily.
Absolutely.
So
There's
please.
another question coming in.
Yes.
Where can I find this information online?
So for the recruitment information, you can go to our website. It's 211bigbend.org. If you want to go right to the volunteer recruitment information, it's 211bigbend.org/volunteer.
And we will also put that in the comments below.
And how often do you offer the training?
We have our training 3 times a year, spring, summer, and fall. So if you go to the Jason Foundation event and you see us there, because we're going to be there, it'll be after our info sessions, but you can always say, hey, I'm still interested, and you can come out to the summer sessions. And our summer sessions are, I'm hoping to really gear them towards community members.
Yeah.
Since a lot of our students are out, and it'll be a smaller class if you're more interested in having a really tailored experience for you.
And if you are interested, what is probably the number one question you get, or something that you can let them know what they can find out at these information sessions?
What am I going to be doing? So
Oh,
even
that's a
though
good
we talk
question.
so much about what we do,
It's true,
people are still kind of, it's a lot to learn. So a lot of people are like, okay, well, how am I going to learn how to do all those things, and how am I going to know how to utilize all that training? So how am I going to do that all on the phone? And we go through that during training, and that's what I talk about as well during the info sessions.
Perfect. And I will say, if you're like, oh, I don't have the time for this, I have talked to so many volunteers. We've had a single mom with 3 kids going to school, and she volunteered. I mean, if you got other excuses, we'll break them down for you. So come join us. Anything else you want to add, ladies?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
But we hope to see you at both the Jason Foundation event and our info sessions.
This is for your, can you guys see that? The suicide prevention with the Jason Foundation. There are some of the awesome partners that we're having. Here's that phone number again for a visual. Can they see that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And Pauline will hold up. That is the volunteer recruitment with the date and times down here. And again, we'll post that.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention. If you're an FSU student and you already know you want to join us, keep an eye out on Handshake. I have a special interview sessions just for FSU students, so keep an eye out for that.
So cool. Well, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, thank you. We want to give a big shout out to those that tuned in and asked questions. You guys make this possible. We are so thankful for you. If you have any more questions, just put them in the comments below, and we'll be paying attention to see. And I want to thank Kelly so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. You guys are great. Awesome. You guys are fabulous.
We're so happy to be partnering
Absolutely.
with you.
Me
This
too.
is just fabulous.
It's very exciting.
And as always, thank you, Paulina.
Of course.
Wonderful. You guys, until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.